commenced impeachment proceedings against Governor Siminalayi Fubara and his deputy, Ngozi Odu, over allegation of gross misconduct. Ubong Usoro has details.
The impeachment process was initiated during plenary, where the majority leader, Major Jack, read the notice of allegations against the governor before lawmakers. According to the notice, the assembly accused Governor Fubara and his deputy of failing to comply with agreements reached during peace meetings brokered by President Bola Tinubu in December 2023, as well as another agreement reached in 2025 during the period of emergency rule in the state. Track of Major Jack.
Withholding of funds meant for the running of Rivers State House Assembly Service Commission and frustrating a commission set up by Part 2AA of the 1999 Constitution as amended.
Speaking during the session, the Deputy Speaker of Rivers State House of Assembly, Duemli Mual, said the governor and his deputy failed to yield to the terms of the peace parley initiated by the president. Among the allegations leveled against Governor Fubara are the demolition of the Rivers State House of Assembly complex, extra budgetary spending, and the withholdings of funds meant for the Assembly Service Commission. Lawmakers also accuse the governor of refusing to comply with the Supreme Court's judgment granting financial autonomy to the Rivers State House of Assembly.
That the governor and deputy governor have continued to act as tyrants, have no good plans for transparency or good governance of Rivers State, and have repeatedly breached, backtracked on peace agreement facilitated, sir, by the president of this country, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR.
The assembly says the impeachment proceedings are being carried out in line with constitutional provisions as political tensions continue to mount in the state. Ubong Usoro for Global Television News.
Nigerian Vice President Kashim Shettima has called on serious Nigerian students to demonstrate greater seriousness, discipline, and passion towards their education, describing learning as a foundation of national development and sustainable progress. The Vice President made the call while addressing graduating students of the Kashim Ibrahim University, Borno State, during the institution convocation ceremony. Ubong Usoro reports.
Vice President Shettima, who was a special guest of honor at the event, emphasized that education remains the most powerful tool for overcoming poverty, insecurity, and underdevelopment.
But education remains the one inheritance that cannot be stripped away. It is the quiet companion that walks with you through hardships and triumphs alike. That is why the duty to educate can never be postponed, diminished, or treated as optional.
He cautioned students against shortcuts to success, stressing the importance of hard work, resilience, and a commitment to lifelong learning. The Borno State Governor Babangana Zulum, who also spoke at the ceremony, reaffirmed his administration commitment to revitalizing the educational sector in the state.
To our esteemed graduates, you are the living fruit of our collective labor and hope. Your journey has been uniquely shaped by the times, yet you have persevered. As you step toward today, you carry not certificates, but the resilience of Borno and the promise of a brighter dawn.
In the major highlight of the event, the Oni of Ife, Oba Adedeye Enitan Oguwusi, was formally installed as the Chancellor of Kashim Ibrahim University. The revered monarch described education as a unifying force and charged students to become ambassadors of peace, culture, and national cohesion. The ceremony attracted top government officials, traditional rulers, academics, parents, and well-wishers from across the country. Ubong Usoro, Global Television News.
The Labour Party has expressed regret over presenting Peter Obi as its presidential candidate in the 2023 general election. The party Deputy National Youth Leader, Barry Johnson, made this known while appearing on Big Talk, a political program on Global Television. Political correspondent Ubong Usoro reports.
Barry Johnson said the Labour Party now believes Peter Obi did not fully meet expectations required for Nigeria's presidency. He explained that the party had limited time to conduct a comprehensive assessment of Obi's leadership and background before presenting him as flag bearer to Nigerians.
We have the chance to tell Nigerians who Peter Obi is.
Right.
Remember, in 2023, we were in a hurry to present candidates.
According to Johnson, the former presidential candidate made claims about transitioning Nigeria from consumption to production, which he now said, in the party's view, did not fully align with Peter Obi's business dealings, particularly in relation to imports.
My party, the Labour Party, released a statement, and we are asking Nigerians to forgive us for presenting somebody who has no capacity, who has no capability, who is not ready to understand the politics of Nigeria.
He further noted that some of Obi's public statements were considered divisive rather than unifying, adding that the party had since distanced itself from him. Barry Johnson also disclosed that Peter Obi has since moved from the Labour Party and is now affiliated with the African Democratic Congress, ADC. Ubong Usoro for Global Television News.
Venezuela's Supreme Court has appointed Vice President Delcy Rodriguez as interim president following the capture of President Nicolas Maduro by U.S. forces. The court said Rodriguez will assume executive power to guarantee administrative continuity and national defense amid the president's forced absence. United States President Donald Trump said Washington will oversee Venezuela temporarily, though details of the transition plan remain unclear. Mukhtar Qasim has details.
Nicolas Maduro, who was flown to the United States amid U.S. airstrikes in Caracas. U.S. President Donald Trump announced the operation and outlined plans for a temporary U.S. administration of the country, while Venezuela declared a state of national emergency. Nicolas Maduro and his wife, Celia Flores, were captured in Caracas on Saturday and transported to the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, New York. They face charges related to drug trafficking, which Maduro has long denied. Venezuelan authorities immediately declared a state of national emergency, condemning the strike as military aggression and demanding proof of life for the president and his wife. Eyewitnesses in Caracas reported explosions, smoke.
Protective gear in the way he is being held by the agent there.
Maduro and his wife, both indicted, gave up and were taken into custody by the Department of Justice.
Trump indicated that U.S. oil companies would repair Venezuela's infrastructure and generate revenue for the country, fueling international debate over the true motives behind the intervention.
We're going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. So we don't want to be involved with having somebody else get in, and we have the same situation that we had for the last long period of years. So we are going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition.
The capture of Maduro marks a historic escalation in United States-Venezuela tensions, with the world divided over the legality and ethics of the strike. Venezuelans remain in shock. International bodies are calling for restraint, and Trump's statement continues to dominate the political narrative. As Maduro sits in U.S. custody, the fate of Venezuela's leadership and future stability hangs in the balance, while the international community closely monitors each development. Mukhtar Qasim, reporting for Global Television News.
Provisional result released by electoral authorities indicate that President Faustin Archange Touadéra has been re-elected for a third term in Central African Republic. Touadéra, 68, has been widely expected to win the third term and has touted his effort to steady a nation long plagued by conflict. Zarau Nasir has details.
Part of the opposition has called for a boycott, condemning the election as a sham and lacking political dialogue with the National Authority of Elections, stating that Touadéra won more than 76% of the vote. His main opponent, Anicet Dolegiele, came second with 15%, while Henry Marie Dondra was third with 3%. Turnout was around 52% for the December 28 polls, in which voters also cast ballots for national, municipal and local lawmakers. The final results will be announced in mid-January after the review of any appeals. Tuodera went into the election in pole position in a 7-strong field after a new constitution was adopted in 2023, allowing him to seek a third term. Zahra Nasir, reporting for Global TV.
Somali President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud has condemned a strong term the recent move by Somaliland authorities, warning that they threaten Somali's unity and sovereignty, accusing the breakaway region of repeatedly walking away from opportunities for political dialogue. President Mohamud also stated that his government is prepared to apologize for the past abuses following Israel's recognition of the country in a move Mogadishu condemns as a violation of its sovereignty. Again, Zahra Nasir reports.
In a television address to the nation, Mohamud said successive Somaliland administrations had failed to see chances for talks that could have led to national reconciliation, instead pursuing steps that further divided Somalis. Mohamud singled out a memorandum of understanding signed between Somaliland and Ethiopia, describing it as unexpected, saying it came at a time when other discussions were underway, further undermining prospects for a negotiated settlement.
The president again states clearly that Somalia is an independent, single country whose territory cannot be divided or split by one Israeli letter signed by Netanyahu, a wanted fugitive. We implemented a government policy based on dialogue towards the secessionist cause in the Northwest, and we are ready to apologize to those people who were harmed during the period when the military was ruling the country.
Mohamud reiterated that the federal government remains open to compromise and genuine dialogue to achieve national unity, pledging to make every possible effort to preserve Somalia's cohesion and statehood. He also thanked Somalis at home and abroad for opposing what he called dangerous actions and expressed appreciation to the international community for supporting Somalia's unity, independence and territorial integrity. Zahra Nasir, reporting for Global TV.
Nigeria has recorded an emphatic 4-0 victory over Mozambique in their AFCON 2025 group match, played on Tuesday night at the tournament venue, as the Super Eagles delivered a dominant performance to boost their qualification hopes. The goal came though a disciplined attacking display and a solid defense organization, giving Nigeria full control of the game from the start to finish. The Super Eagles pressed aggressively, converted their chances efficiently, and denied Mozambique any clear opportunity to respond. The wins underlines Nigeria's intent at the tournament to strengthen their position. Here is the highlight of the story.
The Africa Cup of Nations, Morocco 2025, and the